What if I say the best way to take control of your short-term rental business has been logged in on your computer for probably over 10 or 15 years, I bet. Today we're going to talk about my best tips on how I get 70% of my bookings through direct bookings on my website using good old Facebook ads or Meta ads. Whatever you want to call it. Nice flippin' choice. What's up, you short-term rental savants and glamping gurus? It is Garrett Brown from the Nice Flippin' Choice channel, back with another Airbnb, short-term rental, whatever you want to call it, because there's so many different names that you might use. I made a video recently about how my Geodome was booked for 80% the first month that I launched, and even better going into the second and third month. A lot of this was through my own direct booking website, especially through the second and third month once my ads ramped up. We made about $10,000 just on my Geodome alone between packages added on as well, like romantic and birthday packages. My July month was really good, and a lot of it was because of my direct booking website. I am by no means a Facebook ad expert. I've just been doing a lot of Facebook ads for musicians for a lot of years. I'm actually in my music studio in Houston, Texas, filming right now. I've read a lot on this topic, I've studied a lot on it, and I've had pretty good success with it overall. I don't need every meta technical Karen in my comments. You don't know how to run the CPR corporately with the ROSA, and this is not a targeted engagement. I get it, okay? I'm working to get better every day myself on it. But I do know a decent little bit, and I'm gonna share with you the small things that I have found out, and you can implement it into your own business journey if you like. Oh, some nice little words right there. I don't know where the Shakespearean accent came from, but now I spend about $1,000 a month at this point on Facebook and Google ads. It's a little bit of a mix. It's about $700 to $800 on Facebook and about $200 to $300 per month on Google. I personally think I've had way better Facebook ad success so far. I need to get a better system of getting the guests to tell me where they are exactly seeing me from. I try to ask it in messages. Sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't. Anytime I've met a guest or talked to them, directly for a reason, or we have like a decent conversation, some guests will talk your ear off. Some guests don't want anything to do with you, so just, take it as it comes, and you can kind of feel pretty quickly how chatty they're going to be with you. But I'm working on getting a better system of figuring out where people are exactly coming. I can just tell by the post engagement, though, that between Facebook and Instagram, those ads are definitely the biggest bang for my buck I've gotten, and I'm pretty confident that a lot of those bookings are coming from there. So I did start with about a $500 a month budget or so, like my first month or two in it, because I only had one site then. I've kind of built the business up. I'm on my third site coming up very soon, so I've increased to about $1,000 a month because I feel like I can justify that ROI. It's pretty easy to, explain why I have this kind of budget in place for my business. All big businesses have a marketing budget, but you need to have a budget set aside for it. You also can get a direct booking and skip the Airbnb fees, which can be from 3% or even higher, or you can just roll that over into the actual advertising budget and take the same 3% that you would do on a booking, add 3% into your direct bookings of, hey, this is going to be my marketing buffer that I'm going to pay for, whether it's, $20, $40, $60, whatever. There's a good way to figure out like how much you can spend that would still equal that 3% that you're going to give to Airbnb anyways. And the guests will save when they're booking direct with you. That's another big selling point for them. The other good thing about direct bookings and running ads to your own site is you're able to get the customer information like emails and all these other things that are oh so important, because Airbnb a lot of the time shields a lot of their information. You can get their phone number a lot of the time, but that's hard to communicate with people just directly texting them and things like that. Emails are better, especially for your type of business. You don't want to feel too personal with them. It just kind of depends on where you're at. I would hate to get a text from an Airbnb owner or something, asking me whatever after my stay. Pretty sure that stays in the emails for me, partner. Now, if you're watching this, I don't have to justify why a marketing budget is smart for you. Let's go ahead and make those direct bookings soar. Fly like an eagle.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I will put a caveat to this that I do believe if you have a rather, I don't even want to say it, but like simple property, which you should have some kind of design to it, which is the standard now, it seems like, with Airbnb and short-term rentals. This is probably going to be a little harder because the picture and the video that you have definitely draws people in before they even read the copy or the ad that you're running. If you don't have an engaging image or an engaging video, which we'll talk a little bit different about, then you're probably not even going to get their attention in the first place. So make sure your property is unique, and make sure you have professional photography and videography, and get the most eye-popping, engaging video, whatever you can do possibly for these ads. Marketing is just a big experiment pretty much in the end, so I'm always trial and error, experimenting, starting little small ads with small batch testing, which is just when you put a small budget into something, so I don't blow my whole marketing budget on a new ad that I'm trying. I just test it out, and I gauge these numbers on my own. There are metrics that you can realize, but that, hey, I'm not hitting this mark with this ad, it's not doing good, but a lot of it is just getting that experimentation of different ads, seeing what good click-through rates are, seeing what, the amount of impressions versus this dollar spend is, and really analyzing it. We're all marketing to different groups and different properties, so there's no one size fits all for this, hey, you should be hitting this click-through rate and this, post per, and this price per engagement, or, whatever these metrics are. Don't get too caught up in that. Run a few different ads, smaller ones, small trials, and just compare the numbers yourself, and read a lot about the topic and watch a lot of other YouTube videos, because I promise it's going to help you really hone in on your business and get those direct bookings coming in, especially if you have an eye-appealing place. The first thing I do recommend, though, is figure out what your target direct audience is. This is as simple as figuring out what age you want to target, what demographic, what their interests are, what region and area, what gender sometimes, and different things like that. A lot of these things can be chosen when you are running the Facebook ad. Now, I'm not going to show how to set up a Facebook ad, because there's people that can explain it way better than me out there. I'm just going to talk about the short-term rental, glamping industry. What are some of the Facebook ads that I'm running that I'm getting success on? And then, even spoiler alert, I got a new one that I've been trying that's actually been killing my old one that I thought is one of the best ones I had been running. So let me pull it up over here. $100 on this ad for the week. I've reached 50,000 people. I've had 2,300 post engagements, which equals about a 5% click-through rate, which isn't amazing, but the ad has such a low cost per result, which is, how much it costs each time somebody clicks on the post or engages with it, that it's been running really well. And for a while, this was the only ad I was running, so that's how I know it was killing, because this was the ad predominantly running in July. I set my target audience to anywhere within a 3 to 4 hour drive of my property. I also came up with my own target audience, and I hired someone off of Fiverr to help me even come up with more ideas for where I could hone in at. My age range that is very, very popular between my glamping sites is between 24, around there, to about, it started with about 35, but I think it's more into that 40 range. Somewhere in that pocket, male and female. Predominantly is more females, I will say, so you should cater your properties to that, unless you're going with a more family-friendly style glamping site. And I just put in some pretty basic, detailed, and targeting demographics to begin with. But my new one, now that I have an even more refined audience, has been doing even better, and I will show that ad in a few minutes. This one is when I had help from somebody on Fiverr. I had them write an ad copy, even though I wrote this ad copy myself, but it all starts with that image and video first. This is a post that I actually made. I'm not sure if Instagram and Facebook work better, because I made this an Instagram post to begin with, but as you can see, it's a pretty basic copy. The main thing that I tried to appeal to is I was using the word you a lot. You deserve a getaway. You deserve this. And then I went into basically more informational things with small emojis in places, and also spread it out that it looks like it's easy to read. I didn't overwhelm people. I didn't add too much information, but I didn't add the highlight of the amenities and where exactly it's at with some quick information. This ad was just to get engagement on my post, though, and visit my site, reach out to me. I do a great way of sending out simple messages back to them. But now that I've gotten them to go to my site and engage with my post more and get more traffic for as little as I possibly could, I have a pixel, a Facebook pixel. It's a little code you can get through your Meta Business Suite, and there's plenty of things about there. Just look up Facebook Pixel if you have a business account. You can put this code on your private site, and anybody that visits that will now start getting my retarget ad, which is a whole different ad, whole different subset, and I spend more to get them to click. And this is an ad that's specifically designed to get them to click and go to my website. It has a book now feature, all these things like that. These cost more per click, but you already know you have somebody kind of hooked in because they visited your site. That's why I target it to people that went to my site. I get that engagement going. I send them to my posts. I talk to them. I send them to the website. I put out different discount codes. They follow me. They build up on my social media. Once they visit my site, and now this has went down a little bit too, because Apple has limited this with Facebook. They got a little beef going on apparently. But now people will keep getting ads for your place because they visited your site, and it will be more ones targeted to get them to click and go back to your direct site, and probably incentivize them to book if they haven't already. And it's worked out really well for me doing that, with keeping my ad budget down with an engagement post, and then bringing in an actual retarget just based off the people that had visited me. Using my pixel code, you can pick it as an audience. But now I'm going to go into the newest post that I've done. It has a 6-cent post per engagement, so I've spent a little bit less on it. I only have it at $5 a day right now, but I just cranked it up to 10. But it's got a 8% click-through rate so far, because I've added another property into it. I've used some of the similar photos, but the key, I think, for this is the more targeted interest that I got from somebody on Fiverr. There's a couple extra things I added, and I'll show you these. So I have it in and around Houston or in Dallas, at least 3 hours out. I've added such interest as, and this, I have a romantic glamping site too, so you have to keep that that in mind. My target demographic is 23 to 40-year-old, male, female couples, male, females most likely, girls trips, guys trips. Smaller, more romantic anniversaries are definitely our bread and butter, but they have to enjoy nature and being outdoors anyways. They're not looking for the 5-star Ritz-Carlton. They want luxury, but if they wanted to go stay in the West End or whatever, they would just go book it. So the demographics that I was given off of extensive research from somebody that says they know what they're doing a lot, and I think they do, is adding hiking trails. I added camping. I added things like interrelationship status. Let's see a couple other ones. REI. There's a few other he gave me suggestions that I personally didn't want to put in there because I didn't think they added benefit, but I liked being able to hone in on what somebody was thinking that would be really good. It only cost me about $20 to do this too, so it wasn't anything completely overpriced. I just wanted an extra head helping me think. Now, this ad was a little bit different. I tried to keep it as more small and focused on the details information, and also tried to encourage people leaving comments because they could get a discount code directly sent to their DMs. This one has only been running for a little bit and I just cranked it up, but the results have been pretty good to begin with. It's a higher percentage than one of my more higher performing ones. I also included some simple emojis and some of the best parts of the property that people always ask about. Is it private? Our bookings had slowed down just a little bit in August because it's been so hot, but as I just added this ad on, our bookings have ramped up. I don't know the direct correlation. It might be the ad, it might be the old ad, but I'm going to check into it more and ask people what exactly they saw us about. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this topic at all. This was just a quick way that I kind of set up some of my ads. I've had way better luck, in my personal opinion, with really high quality photos than I have with some of these videos I run. Instagram does a little bit better with reels and videos, but I think the best way that I've found is doing some of these photos on Facebook, doing a carousel, having multiple photos, and really appealing to the guest, using you language, talking about your best amenities, talking about the location. Let me know if y'all want me to go into more detail or anything, or show you how to set up an ad. Just let me know in the comments and I will make a video about that. I just kind of want to give the run through and talk about what has actually worked for me to get a lot of direct bookings. So until next time, appreciate y'all watching all the way through. Peace.